Hold on to your seats, because we're diving headfirst into the dramatic life of Bathsheba, the original femme fatale of ancient times. Imagine a stunning beauty whose allure was so powerful it could topple kings and cause wars. But was Bathsheba just a pawn in a royal game? Or was she playing her own secret chess match? Did she really bathe on her rooftop knowing the king's eyes were watching? Or was it all a mere coincidence? And what about King David? Was he a star-struck lover or a scheming seducer? Prepare for a tale brimming with lust, power, betrayal, and redemption. Get ready to laugh and gasp as we unravel the mysteries and mischiefs of Bathsheba's life. Meet Bathsheba, daughter of Eliam, a lady of noble birth and stunning beauty. Picture this. She's the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of the most loyal soldiers in King David's army. Around the time of David's reign between 1005 and 965 BC. So it's springtime, the season when kings typically go off to war. But our boy David? Nah. He's chilling in Jerusalem while his army, led by Joab, is off destroying the Ammonites and besieging Rabbah. One balmy evening, David decides to take a leisurely stroll on his palace roof, as one does. And what does he spy with his roving eye? A beautiful Bathsheba, having her evening bath. David's heart skips a beat. Who is this stunning woman? A few inquiries later, he learns she's Bathsheba, daughter of Eliam and the wife of Uriah the Hittite. But does that stop him? Oh no. Driven by a burning desire, he sends for her, and before you know it, sparks fly. Fast forward a bit, and Bathsheba sends David a little note. Surprise! She's pregnant. Now David is in a pickle. What's his master plan? He calls Uriah back from the battlefield, hoping to stage a little romantic reunion with Bathsheba, making it look like Uriah is the baby daddy. Uriah arrives, and David plays it cool, asking about the war and the troops. Then he drops the hint. Why don't you go home and, relax with your wife? But Uriah, ever the honorable soldier, refuses to enjoy home comforts while his comrades are still out fighting. Instead, he crashes at the palace entrance with the servants. Talk about loyalty. The next day, David invites Uriah to dine with him and make him drunk, thinking that this would lower his resolve. But again, Uriah did not go down to his house. He slept among the servants. Seeing that his plans had failed, David resorted to a more sinister scheme. He wrote a letter to Joab, the commander of the army, instructing him to place Uriah at the front lines of the fiercest battle, and then withdraw from him so he would be struck down and killed. David sealed the letter and sent it with Uriah, who unknowingly carried his own death warrant. Joab followed the king's orders. In the heat of the battle, Uriah was left exposed and was killed by the enemy. When Bathsheba heard of her husband's death, she mourned for him. After the mourning period, David brought her into his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. But the Lord was displeased with David's actions. He sent Nathan, the prophet, to comfort the king. Nathan told David a parable of two men in a city, one rich and one poor. The rich man had many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing except one little ewe lamb, which he loved dearly. When the traveler came to the rich man, instead of taking one from his own flock to prepare a meal, the rich man took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for his guest. David, hearing this story, was filled with anger and declared that the rich man deserved to die and must restore the lamb fourfold. Nathan then revealed to David that he was the rich man in the parable. The Lord had given David everything, yet he took Uriah's wife and had Uriah killed. Nathan declared the Lord's judgment. The sword would never depart from David's house, and his own wives would be given to another before his eyes. Furthermore, the child born to Bathsheba would die. David, realizing the gravity of his sin, confessed, "I have sinned against the Lord." Nathan assured him that the Lord had put away his sin, and he would not die. But the child born to him in Bathsheba would surely die. The child became gravely ill. David pleaded with God for the child's life, fasting and lying on the ground in a sackcloth. Despite his prayers and the concern of the household, the child died on the seventh day. David's servants feared telling him, thinking that he might be hard on himself. However, when David perceived the child was dead, he rose, washed, anointed himself, changed his clothes, and went into the house of the Lord to worship. Afterward, he returned to his house and ate. His servants were puzzled and asked why he mourned and fasted while the child was alive, but rose and ate after the child's death. David explained that while the child was alive, he hoped God might be gracious and let the child live. But now that the child was dead, fasting would not bring him back. He said, "I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me." David then comforted Bathsheba, and she bore another son. They named him Solomon, and the Lord loved him. Nathan the prophet conveyed that the Lord had named him Jedediah, meaning beloved of the Lord. Through Bathsheba's eyes, her world had been upended by grief and an unexpected twist. She was a woman whose life had been dramatically altered by the actions of a powerful king. She had been loyal to her husband Uriah, and now found herself in the palace, the wife of the king who had caused Uriah's death. The weight of these events bore heavily upon her, but she carried on, her heart filled with both sorrow and a new hope for the future. Bathsheba's new role as the wife of the king came with its own challenges. She had to navigate the complex dynamics of the royal court, where politics and power plays were constant. Yet she found solace in her son Solomon, a beacon of hope and a promise of a new beginning. She devoted herself to him, nurturing him with love and wisdom. David, too, was a man transformed by these events. The gravity of his sin weighed on him, and he sought redemption through his actions. His relationship with Bathsheba grew deeper, marked by a shared sorrow and a mutual understanding of their past. Together, they faced the consequences of their actions and sought to build a better future for their children and their kingdom. Solomon, their son, grew up in an environment of redemption and hope. From a young age, he exhibited a keen interest and deep sense of justice. David saw in him the future of Israel, a king who would rule with wisdom and fairness. Bathsheba, too, saw in her son potential to bring honor to their family and to the kingdom. As Solomon grew, he became known for his wisdom and his understanding of the law. He sought the counsel of the elders and learned from the mistakes of his father. When the time came for David to pass the throne to his son, he did so with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that Solomon would be a wise and just ruler. Solomon's reign was marked by peace and prosperity. He built the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent edifice that became the center of worship for the people of Israel. His wisdom became legendary, and he was sought after by leaders from other nations who came to hear his judgments and to learn from his insights. Through the trials and tribulations of their past, David and Bathsheba saw the fulfillment of God's promise in their son Solomon. They understood that despite their sins, God's grace had prevailed. Their story is a testament to the power of repentance, forgiveness, and the possibility of redemption. In their later years, David and Bathsheba often reflected on their journey. They had faced great sorrow and great joy, and through it all, they had learned the importance of humility and the power of God's mercy. Bathsheba, once a woman caught in the web of power and desire, became a symbol of resilience and hope. As the years passed, David's health began to decline. He spent his final days surrounded by his family, finding comfort in the knowledge that his legacy would continue through Solomon. Bathsheba stood by his side, her heart filled with a profound sense of peace. Together, they had overcome their past and had built a future grounded in faith and love. David passed away, and Solomon ascended to the throne, ushering in a new era of unprecedented prosperity and wisdom. Bathsheba continued to play a significant role in the royal court, advising her son and supporting his reign. She was respected and honored as the Queen Mother, a testament to her strength and character. Bathsheba's story, intertwined with that of David, became a powerful narrative of redemption and hope. It demonstrated that even in the midst of sin and sorrow, God's grace could bring about healing and renewal. Their legacy, embodied in the wisdom and reign of Solomon, stood as a testament to the enduring power of God's love and mercy. Thus, the story of Bathsheba, once marred by scandal and sorrow, became a narrative of redemption, resilience, and hope. Through her journey, she exemplified the transformative power of God's grace and the enduring strength of the human spirit. In the annals of history, Bathsheba's name would forever be associated with a tale of profound redemption and unwavering faith.